Hello there. What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another X-Files reaction today. My name is Elie Moses, a 25-year-old law and film shouldn't even seen in Australia. Absolutely shouldn't even shot. And we were back on track with episode 4 of season 4. What a beautiful episode. What a haunting episode that was in, the Howlers, baby. The Howlers, Unruhe, the Unrest. What a fantastic episode that was. And hopefully we can continue that momentum today with episode 5 of season 4. At the time I am recording this intro, actually recording this episode, I just uploaded the home episode, so episode 2 of season 4. What a fantastic episode that was, and the comments are currently flooding in as we speak for that reaction. So after this reaction, I'll see what other newer comments have been added to that reaction, and we'll go have a read of them and heart them and reply to them, and we'll see what people are saying about that episode. But in the meantime, we are up to episode 5, like I said, of season 4. This one is titled The Field Where I Died. We're going to get into the reaction. We're going to have some fun with this thing, baby. And as always, let's jump right into the world of X-Files and let's absolutely smash it. Let's go.
At times, I almost dream.
Ooh, Mulder intro. Mulder intro.
I too have spent a life the sage's way.
Thinking about a sister? Surely.
I tread once more familiar paths, but scattered wrecks enough of it to remain dim memories. As now, one seems once more.
Oh.
The goal in sight again.
Mom and Dad? That was a great intro. Interesting.
We are armed!
Temple of the 7 Stars.
Get down the ground!
You see how my guy was holding that pistol? That was gangster. He had the riot shield like this and he was like that. That's gangster. Oh, yeah. The raid is approved on this house. What is that devilish symbol right there?
We took the fusion off.
Mulder! Mulder! Tear it apart.
I think they used the dolly zoom effect on the door right there. Like sort of the hallway, similar to Jaws, right? With
Intelligence
Brody.
reported no hiding places beyond the yard. Did you see someone?
I am he that liveth and was dead. And behold, I am alive forevermore.
Hearing voices more. Hearing voices. They drinking blood?
No!
Okay.
Damn. They didn't do a good job of covering that, that little basement right there. They could have at least tried to cover it with some sort of, foliage or plantation. This is interesting because I really enjoy the start of this episode. We haven't seen sort of like an FBI raid like this in a while. I remember seeing one in season 1. I forgot the guy's name. Do you remember the guy that posed as like a pastor and he posed as like a Jehovah's Witness at the front door, and they were circling around someone? But we haven't seen one in a while with like a task force team established led by Skinner here in a minute. This is interesting. Did they raid some sort of cult or something? Like, why does this guy sound like Mike Tyson?
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Like I said, Vernon, he's heard the little kids around here.
Bro, that's Mike Tyson. I'm not joking.
My God. Gotta get them more. I got
Talking like this and it's...
This call capped off an 18-month VATF investigation
Damn.
at the Temple of the 7 Stars, led by Vernon Ephesian.
Temple of the
Sidney
7
called
Stars.
and convinced the Attorney General to give the go-ahead for this morning's raid.
The Bureau is responsible for
How do you
coordinating
know?
and garbage in, garbage out.
All right, knock it off!
Our man
Reports
Spooky.
are valid. Illegal activities were going on at the 7 Stars compound. Somehow they were alerted in time to hide the F. Ephesian and his wives are being held on, frankly, BS charges of possession of dangerous chemicals. And you know their attorneys will be pushing for a quicker... They'll be out of here in less than 24 hours if we cannot charge them.
Find something.
And even more critical, find the informant, Sidney. If they found out that he tipped us, it's likely we're looking for murder. All right, go.
It's a pretty cool start.
Agent Mulder, Agent Scully. My concern is if the temple members are released, any subsequent federal investigation will ignite Ephesians' paranoia to such a degree that we won't have another Waco on our hands. We'll have Jonestown.
I knew you were coming.
Of course.
9th century.
Of course, Scully confronting this guy. I love it.
It was written in the revelation of Jesus Christ. It is vital that you understand that soon, very, very soon, all unfaithfuls, all disbelievers, all beasts, if that means me or just Sydney or you,
Conjured up a good story here
all
with
will be
his
destroyed
attorney.
by God's mighty men. It is what has been told by God will happen.
Skinner said no one else has come up with anything. As you can see, they search for released members of the temple. The compound remains under federal control, though. Our time is flying. We've got 6 wives to question. My estimate is 12 more hours of fire and brimstone and not a second about Sydney.
Somebody got a crack.
Let's start with her.
My name is Melissa Riedel Ephesian. I'm 25.
Melissa, do you understand your right to have an attorney present?
Ain't no way she 25, bro.
It's okay.
Where you from? Does it bother you that he has other wives?
And on that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we shall eat our own bread. We shall wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Bro has is it 6 other wives? Or 5 other wives?
I'd have a tough time if my husband had so many children with other women.
That's crazy.
Do you have a child by Vernon?
Someday.
The Temple of Delusion, bro, not the 7
Vernon has
stars.
to wait until when the right soul is ready to be reincarnated. That's why Vernon's children are the most sacred members of the temple.
We were told that Vernon's been hurting the children.
Bro's brainwashed everyone.
Have you ever witnessed any child abuse at the temple, Melissa?
I don't know where you two are getting that from. I mean, I saw a couple things. I mean, it could have been anything, right?
Melissa?
Bro, why does she sound like the penguin?
I don't
Colin
know
Farrell.
about that.
Sydney?
What is this? Guard the earrings? No.
Is it ADR or is that the actual actress putting on that voice?
I saw a couple things. It could have been anything, right?
Sydney, can you tell me who the President of the United States is right now?
Multiple personalities.
Who is the president of the United States?
Damn.
What the hell kind of dumb question is that? That is a stupid question. Harry Truman.
Somehow I just knew.
Mulder's got some connection this episode to these guys. Or this woman. Yo, that switch up was crazy, man. She took the safety off that gun. She snapped. She started spazzing.
Ephesian and his wives are being arraigned tomorrow morning. That's about 15 hours to come up with something.
Come up with
Bro
something.
thinks he's
We
King
found
Henry
Sydney.
with like
Voice
10 wives.
spectrogram
Is it
confirmed
King
that
Henry?
Melissa Riedel's vocal pattern matches the age. We need a psychological catalyst. I suggest we take her back to the compound. Maybe exposing her to that environment without Ephesian present will somehow enable Melissa to talk, or a personality inside her.
Split personality
Just feel
disorder?
like, could this be some kind of a stall, a staged version? It's my understanding that multiple personalities. But you remain unconvinced?
I believe the disorder exists, but in this case, under these circumstances, I would have to know more.
If Melissa has multiple personalities, would his testimony even be admissible?
Judicial precedents have established that dissociative personalities are responsible.
Yes, but we are responsible for Melissa Riedel.
What we are responsible for is the potential loss of 50 lives.
Why? Scully just saw what happened. Why
Good.
don't we just go with it? Yeah, at least give it a go. Because maybe
You
that
didn't
personality
even
will come
have
back
the
out
courage
in
to
the
tell
right
Skinner
environment.
what you really believe. That Melissa Riedel is being invaded by her past life incarnations.
Because he wouldn't believe me.
I don't believe that you feel responsible for those 50 lives. Or Melissa Riedel. You are only responsible to yourself, Mulder.
Damn.
It may be so painful, you may be afraid to remember. But to help the others,
Past life
to help the
reincarnation?
children, and to help yourself,
Yeah, Skinner wasn't gonna go with
I'm
that.
here
Obviously, he
with
wasn't
you,
gonna bite on
Melissa.
that. But the split personality
To
disorder.
Melissa, to Sydney, to whoever may need to talk.
The whole bro, that freaking. Oh, they look happily married. Yeah, when you got the kids painting stuff like that, like, bruh, what the heck?
Melissa? Can you do this?
Melissa, Lily,
This is a tough one. This is a tough
it's
one.
okay to tell me.
Look, leave the kid alone. You hear me?
Yo, this
He
actress
doesn't
killing
wanna
it.
talk, right? No way. I'm sending home.
Sydney, you can all go home. You can all be safe if you just tell us where they hit the guns.
That hit a nerve. Again, I think, is it a dolly zoom or is it just a normal pan in? I swear, if these guns are hid in like plain sight, and the FBI agents, the task force couldn't find them after the raid on the compound, we need to start having some serious questions about who the FBI are hiring.
What's wrong?
Open up, Mulder, open up. Oh, I wonder if the beginning of the episode where Mulder was narrating in the cornfield, or not the cornfield, sorry, but the fields here, the wheat field, whatever. I wonder if that's actually from the end of the episode where he's reflecting on what went on throughout the entire episode, like a "how did we get here" moment. We'll come back to that. And I love the long extended takes the X-Files does a lot of the times to reveal something. Like, I feel like nowadays, you know that scene with Mulder at the beginning of the episode, I feel like it would have cut to like a close-up of what he was holding in his hand. But the camera slowly took its time to establish, the scene, the geography of the scene, the location, slowly panned into Mulder and slowly panned up and over and then turned around to, picture what he was holding in his hand.
Weapons were placed in the bunker, which they had built the night before. Federals would arrive in the morning just
Oh,
before
okay.
the
So
sun.
it was built before. Night before, sorry.
Realizing the government's might and number, most believe they indeed would never again see the light of day.
How many accidents can you do?
Just as they had watched
Yes.
their brothers die days before on Missionary Ridge.
You sound like a
We had
vet.
received word of General Claiborne's retreat from the Union Army. As a nurse, I had been ordered from Hamilton County to meet the troops, but in actuality, I was searching for him,
So are there like multiple
knowing that he would attempt to remain in Tennessee
past
rather than
iterations of
retreat to
people
Dalton.
in
I
Melissa?
found him here. I was here. As were you.
Wait, what?
This is the field where I watched you die.
So she knows Mulder from another life, or this person knows Mulder from another life? Like this field was a war zone in another life? Mulder can't let that get to him, because possibly it is a split personality disorder.
Arranging for a therapist trained in hypnosis to be at the command center.
Because hypnosis is used in the treatment of dissociative identities to bring forth a patient's various personalities?
She wants to talk, Scully. It's a matter of getting it out of her.
No, it's about regressing her to a past life. Don't do this to her, Mulder. This poor woman's mind, her life is in shreds. Just being married to a Ephesian indicates that she is susceptible to suggestion.
You were there, Scully. You saw it. You heard it. Why can't you? How could I know about a bunker in a field where I've never been?
And why is it that Vernon Ephesian is reported by you a paranoid sociopath because he believes that he lived in Greece 100 years ago, and you're not, even though you believe you died in that field?
See, I don't get Mulder's crash out right there on Scully. Like, you were there, you saw it, you believe. Like, I kind of, this is like a cult that's been brainwashed. Like, look at the way Ephesian was talking in the episode, like at the beginning. Like, I was there 100 years ago. This is a guy who's completely deluded and is so stuck in his beliefs, and is so high on his horse that he's brainwashed this cult to believe him and abused children, stored weapons. Like, he's brainwashing this cult. So I can see why Melissa's mind would be stuffed and saying the things she is. So I don't know why Mulder, like, he has to be a lot more open to Scully this episode, in my opinion, in terms of like what's going on about, being connected to this woman in a past life or dying in that field in a past life. Like, it's interesting, but I'm kind of more open to the possibility of what's, Scully's saying about what she's been through, the traumatic experiences. She said, just being married to this. That's not, the guy has 6 freaking wives, kids with multiple children, has told her when, God tells him it's the right time, she will bear a child. Like, look, she's probably seen the abuse of multiple children and her mind's completely so far gone. So Mulder can't get lost in what she's saying here. Like, I get he probably maybe thinks he has some sort of connection with her, but maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't know. But out of all times for him to have that sort of crash out to Scully, this is the wrong episode to have that crash out. Like, there are multiple other episodes where he could have said, Scully, you were there, you saw it, you heard it. Like, I don't know, the Erlenmeyer flask, you were there, you something like the mythology episodes. I would understand Mulder having that sort of crash out. But like this one, come on, man. Like a weird ass religious cult, abusing children and, just solely focusing on the book of Revelations, as they were saying in the beginning of the episode. Mulder's been brainwashed himself here. I feel like, I don't know if I'm wrong in saying that, but like,
I'm talking to Melissa. In the last year at the Temple of the Seven Stars,
this is a woman whose brain has been completely
it hurt you.
Destroyed by this cult.
The mighty men.
I'm just thinking
Late
about Mulder
night.
still having that rant about Scully.
Liz
Like,
sneaks in to see Scott.
that ain't the
Oh,
time to have that type of rant and crash out.
She brings him a Butterfinger. She
Like,
stole
Scully
from her.
literally had a bunch of 3-4 aliens run by her hip to a ship
Burn it.
in paperclip.
Burn it. Burn it.
He questions her now.
The mighty men.
The boy, no, Mom.
This woman is clearly just a troubled individual whose mind has been completely destroyed by what she's seen from that Ephesian brother abusing and
his pajamas.
kids and making women suicidal. Like,
You're
drinking
not a
blood or
child
whatever
of
they're drinking.
God.
Leave Melissa alone. She doesn't need to go to that anymore.
Where are the guns?
The bunkers, yeah. The Civil War bunkers, yeah. Vernon and
The
his
Sydney
goons,
personality
but
is
I don't.
crazy.
I really don't.
Maybe there's a map of the battlefield down in the records.
You know how to find the other bunkers.
Oh, there.
Why is Mulder so
Melissa.
invested in it, bro? Feels like I'm watching Split with James McAvoy.
Your eyes may have changed shade, but it cannot color the soul behind. We have come together in this life this time.
This is not really an X-File as well, is it?
Only to meet in passing.
Just a raid on a cult
It is so heartbreaking to wait.
run by a psychotic leader who's brainwashing women and children and abusing children.
I miss you.
Mulder, please don't fall into it, bro. What? So were they lovers in another life or something? Nah, you can't believe that, Mulder! Habibi!
Also, this is a product of her illness.
Thank you!
She couldn't answer the question of the battlefield. She gave us no specific names, no information to prove her validity. There is nothing that we can use.
Thank you,
to prove
Scully.
This is the truth.
Thank you, Scully.
There's one.
You can't
All
base this
Ephesians
off one
were
hypnosis
in 2
session.
hours. There is no time to be doing this.
We gotta find the
Just Scully.
weapons. No.
What do you see?
But we have no time to do this. We gotta find the weapons. These guys can't get away with this.
Ghetto streets, shattered glass,
It's hypnotizing bullcrap,
bodies
man.
of the dead.
Oh, is that the photos it was holding up
My
at the beginning of the
son is with
episode?
me. He is Samantha.
Samantha?
Oh, his sister.
I thought Samantha was your sister.
In this life, she is my son.
Okay, so this episode's dealing with like the possibilities of reincarnations in other lives.
I see my father, but always together. Again and again.
Souls coming from past lives, being reincarnated in this one. I don't know.
My father.
So this is like reminding me of, Across the Spider-Verse, canon events.
Gestapo is standing next to him.
Mulder's father dying is a canon event in all realities.
An officer. He is Cancer Man. Evil returns as evil. To the camps. He is Melissa.
What?
We're all taken away.
So you're saying what this episode is implying is that Melissa is Mulder's lover in all lives, past lives, in all realities, or no?
The Federals are gone.
Brother, we're meant to be nailing this
sergeant is
Ephesian
also
guy,
dead.
man, and finding the weapons. Not doing a hypnotic session.
He is Scully. Sarah holds me.
Wait. Who did you say? Father Scully? Wait.
The Federals are gone.
Uh-huh.
My sergeant is also dead. He is Scully.
Oh, the sergeant was Scully. Hey, Scully, just see through this bullcrap, man.
Sarah holds me. She doesn't know.
I'm a little bit confused.
She doesn't know. But I'm waiting for her. We will live again.
Bro, F that
Scully, do you see any bunkers in the field?
that hypnotizer gotta go, bro.
Soul's tired.
Get the battle maps.
Rest.
The battle maps. Damn, sleepless night. Wait, so what that scene was implying right there is that Melissa is Mulder's lover in another life, or every other life, and Scully is like his general or like close friend. Am I right in saying that, or am I wrong in saying that? Like, is it implying that in all iterations of the X-Files, or in all iterations of Mulder's life, in all the other realities, Melissa is his lover? The girl who we've just been introduced to this episode, and we haven't seen her throughout the entire series, and will likely probably not see her again. I call bullshit. And is it also implying that in every other iteration of Mulder's life, Scully is never his lover? Like, they never have a relationship whatsoever. Like, I find that hard to believe that in another life, Mulder and Scully don't end up, being partners. I don't know. I'm just going off what I saw in Across the Spider-Verse in terms of like every character or every universe where a Spider-Man or a Spider-Woman exists, there's a canon event, right? That happens where Spider-Man or Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman loses someone they love. Yeah? And that canon event could be the Uncle Ben. That canon event could be, Sergeant Morales, Captain Stacy, or, in one of the universes, Gwen lost Peter Parker, which was her friend slash lover, I believe. I think from memory. Yeah, from memory. She lost Peter, who was her really close friend. And that was that canon event because Peter was the one that took the serum that turned him into the lizard. So yeah, there's those canon events that happen in every Spider-Man or Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman's life that they lose someone. But the relationship stuff, like, I feel like the canon event in the X-Files would be Mulder loses his sister, or his sister's abducted, or could be a brother being abducted. Someone is abducted from his family, and that's the canon event. And Mulder's father dies. That's another canon event. And in Scully's, it would be her father, sister dies. That's her canon events. But like, I don't see the relationship. Like, I just find that hard to believe that in all other realities or other past lives, Mulder and Scully are not, like, in a relationship. In this series, if you guys want my honest thoughts on how I see the Scully and Mulder relationship in this series, I know it's in season 4 and it's probably too close, too early to call, but this is how I've always seen their relationship. This is just my opinion. You guys may not necessarily agree with me. And I know there's probably a lot of people or X-Files fans that ship Mulder and Scully as a relationship. I don't know if they'll turn out to be a couple. Who knows? But this is how I see their relationship. This is how I view it. I feel like there's love there. There's a strong type of love, but I don't think it's I don't think it's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife type love between them. I think it's like a brotherly sister type love. Or like, if you've seen Bad Boys, I feel like it's that type of love. Bad Boys, Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry, that eternal friendship love, where, they go off, get married, have family, and, Scully's kids will see Uncle Mulder. Like, it will be that type of thing. Like, Auntie Scully, like, their kids, that close, very, I think it's that very close friendship love, like a brother sister love between Mulder and Scully. That's how I see it. I don't think there's like an emotional attachment there, and I don't think their lives allow for that type of emotional attachment. Um, yeah, I just see it as a strong brotherly sister love, like a strong brotherly sister bond, like a very, very strong friendship type love. That's how I see it. Like, I know I compared it to Bad Boys and you guys probably rolled your eyes, but I see it as that type of, Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, they take bullets for each other, man. They'll risk their own lives for one another, and that's what Mulder and Scully do for each other. So I see it as that type of love, that type of friendship, a very, very strong type of, love, that's friendship, but not boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife. I just feel like it wouldn't fit in this, like, it wouldn't fit right now in this series. I feel like if they do it, it will be forced. I love the dynamic at the moment. It's almost as if, like I said, it's two lifelong friends. Even though they haven't been friends for their entire lives, it feels like two lifelong friends who have been together and are just meant to be partners, and they are there to assist each other and have that dynamic where they each have their own respective beliefs, based on their own experiences, and that's what makes them a great team. That's what makes them a great duo, and that's how they play off each other so well, because one might have one idea, one might have other ideas because of based on their own experiences and beliefs. Like, we all know Scully to be the skeptic, and always, tries to rationalize with science. And then Mulder has his other, beliefs that are a little bit far stretched, but sometimes they're right because it's the world of the X-Files. So yeah, I know it's a long rant, but I just find it interesting that this episode tried to pin it that Melissa is Mulder's, partner in another life, in terms of like lover in another life, like his wife. And that's how she remembers him this episode. We know each other from another life because I was married to you. But they hinted at Scully being the general who passed away, and that's their relationship. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I don't necessarily agree with it, and I think they wasted a lot of time this episode on their hypnosis scene. I get the extreme close-up shots on David Duchovny trying to, smash out the acting right there. He did a great job, but like at the same time, we're trying to chase down a psychotic cult leader here who's brainwashing women, making him suicidal and abusing children. And we needed to do a little bit of research on that bunker because the clock is ticking in terms of like the time they are going to be released. So yeah, it's just, those are my thoughts. I know it's a long rant, but yeah, that's how I see the Scully Mulder relationship in this series 4 season in. I just see it as like a brother sister strong friendship type love, not romantic love. Wow, he got the Kavanaugh name right. Maybe the hypnosis did work. But like, what was I gonna say? Like, yeah, man, like, do I want to see? Oh, those are the photos from the beginning of the episode. Like, do I really want to see Mulder hooking up with Scully at this point, or like banging her? No, like it won't feel right.
Early in the 4 years we've been working together, an event occurred that suggested, or somebody told you, that we'd been friends together in other lifetimes.
Oh my gosh, they just said it. So they're always friends.
Some of the ways we looked at one another.
Even if I knew for certain, I wouldn't change a day. Well, maybe that fluke man thing, I could have lived without that just fine.
Why the fluke man always catching strays, man?
We have come together in this life, this time.
Yeah, she wouldn't have changed a day.
It is so heartbreaking.
Whatever happened, happened. I refuse to believe that's Mulder's lover in another lifetime.
Those tapes are saying that we chose the lives we lived before we were born and who we live with. I want to believe.
Interesting.
And if I knew it were true, I'd want to start over.
He ain't 25, man. I know.
This pointless life.
Sarah, if it were true, no life would be pointless.
Now he's referring to her as Sarah.
It's time to leave.
Brother, man, if I was Skinner, I'd be so pissed off. Spent all night yapping with a hypnotizer and not searching for the bunkers where the weapons are. We need to incriminate this fool. Look at them, bro. They're scared. They're worried, man.
You will achieve for them the reward of life forevermore, and our worst fears will be realized.
There are some highlights this episode. Like, there are some great moments in this episode. I just couldn't stomach the... Like, I didn't like the other life stuff and reincarnation stuff and, like, the elongated hypnotizing session.
Marvel not, my brethren, that the world hates you.
Like, if it was just purely this episode... It's not really an X-File, is it? But, like, if it was just purely taking down this psychotic cult leader, you know, who's doing these atrocious things to his followers, I would have been okay. And maybe we could have spent more time with Ephesian, because he took a backseat a lot through the episode because we were focusing on Mulder's, you know, hypnotizing and, you know, his belief of being with Melissa in a past life and being reincarnated in a past life. So I feel like, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this episode so far. I'm a bit mixed because there are some highlights there.
We know we've passed from death into life.
Parabolic Mike, we have aimed at the compound. Just pick this up.
Marvel not, my brethren, that the world hates you.
Take his ass down.
Hereby pursue we the love of God, because he laid down his life.
Bro loaded the clip.
Temple began running an interference frequency.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may
Poison.
have the right to the tree of life. My little children,
He's sacrificing all of them.
love in word, and shall assure.
Well, there's your weapons.
And whoremongers,
and murderers, idolaters.
And we even got the church choir hymns in the background.
Mulder, no! You're dead!
Dumbass. Well, they're all dead. And they got away with what they were doing. Because they hesitated those few hours with the hypnotizing session when they were on the clock to find the weapons. To find some credible evidence for the court to detain them. And to not release them.
Behold, I am alive forevermore.
Brother, get your gun out. Have it at the ready. I didn't approve of Mulder running in there like a headless chicken, by the way. Like, so much death. What can men do against such reckless hate? And he accomplished what he sought out to do. Brother, if I was Mulder, I would not have any attachment to... I don't care what she said. I'd agree with Scully in terms of how troubled she is, man. Because, like, I get that the episode's trying to say that this is his...
At times, I almost dream.
This is his lover in a past life. But, brother, like, come on, man. You've known this woman for a couple hours, like... So it was the beginning of the episode.
The sage's way, and tread once more familiar paths. Instinct with better light let in by death, that life was blotted out not so completely, but scattered wrecks enough of it to remain dim memories. As now.
So he's the woman, and yeah, she was the husband.
The goal in sight again.
That was an interesting episode, man. I feel like it has such a strong start, and then it slowly, I think, fell apart through the middle of the episode. Like, I was so into, you know, the whole raid and, you know, the mystery surrounding this cult. And maybe I would have liked to get into... I know we had that interrogation scene with Ephesian, but I think I would have liked to get into the mind of him a little bit more and have more interactions with him. But then obviously the episode takes a little bit of a detour and focuses heavily on Melissa. And I think the actress did a good job at, you know, nailing the split personalities and, you know, transitioning between characters or other characters from past lives. But yeah, I get what it's trying to do in terms of, like, having Melissa be Mulder's partner in a part, but she's never going to pop up again throughout the series. So I couldn't care less because she just died. So I don't get the heavy emphasis and focus on her. But I feel like this episode might have been made just to say Mulder and Scully are never meant to be together. It's just Melissa chick. But I don't believe that. I find that hard to believe. Like, it wasn't convincing enough at all. And at points, sometimes it did feel like an X-Files episode. Sometimes it didn't. I'm heavily conflicted with this episode because I feel like there was some great highlights in there. Like I said, this is a cult leader who's doing terrible things to women and children and his followers. And, you know, we're on the clock and we kick back and have a hypnotizing session and watch Mulder completely contemplate and have an existential crisis, or, like, you know, an epiphany about his past lives, and who he's meant to be together or who he's meant to be with. When we could have been out searching earlier in the library for the maps and plans of the bunker, you know, instead of Scully doing it alone at 4:12 a.m. in the morning. And then you had Mulder approach Scully, you know, literally say, moments after my little pause in the reaction, talking about my viewpoints on Mulder and Scully's relationship in this series. You know, in another life, I think they could be, you know, husband and wife if they didn't have the jobs they did. Maybe if they had different jobs. I feel like, you know, the jobs they have currently in their careers won't allow them to, you know, have a marriage or a romantic relationship, and their viewpoints and experiences just differ too much, I feel like. Or maybe, you know, it is possible, but I see them as like a very strong you know, friendship, or like I said, brother sister love, or strong friendship love. Mike Lowry, you know, and Marcus Burnett type love, that strong partner love, where if they do break off from the FBI eventually in their careers and do decide to get married, it'll be Uncle Mulder, Auntie Scully for the kids and so on, and they'll have that, you know, they'll have that eternal connection, but just as FBI partners, as really strong friends. I feel like that's how I see it. Like, yeah, if they were to suddenly become romantic partners in this series, I don't think it would quite work with the careers they have. Yeah, even now, like you see some episodes, like, you know, even War of the Cacophrages, and I was just like, it's that friendly. You can have that. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, you can have that banter with your romantic partner too, but I just feel like now 4 years in, it plays off as like, you know, brother sister type friendship. That's how I see it. I don't know, but Mulder even hit that to Scully this episode. He even said, like, if I were to tell you that, you know, in another lifetime we'd be friends forever 4 years ago, would you? And Scully said, no, I wouldn't change a thing. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. And I think she's right. Whatever happened, happened. I've made those decisions myself. Everything we've done here, we've made those decisions willingly ourselves. Like, it hasn't been influenced by, you um, you know, this own woman, or that who's, you know, claims to be or claims to know you from another life. I don't know. I'm rambling on too much. Need to gather my thoughts a bit more. And I'm interested to actually hear your guys' thoughts on this episode. Because I feel like some of the stuff this episode was shoehorned in just to say to fans, yo, Mulder and Scully are meant to be friends in every other, you know, lifetime. Not just this one. Every other lifetime they're destined to be friends, which I don't kind of agree with, because, you know, in other lives they could have different jobs or whatever, and they could be together. They could cross paths and end up being married and have a romantic relationship. I just don't think that type of romantic relationship currently fits in the X-Files. And if they do it, like I said, I feel like it will be forced. So yeah, my take on it is, like, I see it, like I said, like a bad boys partnership. Mike Lowry, Marcus Burnett, where, you know, it's a very, very strong love, but like a friendship type love, or like a brother sister type love. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction nonetheless. It's been Elie Moses. Take care. God bless and peace.